The phone rang with tomorrow's date glowing on the cracked display. Not the time, the date. 3:07 a.m. Wednesday, it said, while my clock on the wall insisted it was still Tuesday. I stared at the cheap landline the landlord left behind, its yellowed plastic coiled like a sleeping snake. I didn't have service connected. The jack wasn't even plugged in. It rang again. On the third ring I lifted the receiver, because fear is loud but curiosity is louder. "Lena," my own voice whispered, "don't turn on the bathroom light at 3:12. Whatever happens, don't." Static bled across my ear like rain on tin. "Who is this?" I asked, which felt ridiculous. The answer was in the shape of my breath, the cadence, the nervous habit of clipping the last word. "It's me. It's you," the voice said. "From tomorrow, listen, there are rules we didn't know about. The apartment follows them, we don't." I laughed, small and brittle. "What rules?" "Doors, remember, mirrors lie, and windows," the line stuttered. In the background, I heard my own footsteps on my own wood floor. I can't hold this long. Just, when the street light blinks, count to 5 before you look at anything reflective. If you don't, it takes the shape you're thinking of and wears it. At 3:12, it will try. It? My mouth dried. A distant click behind me. The streetlight outside my window blinked. 1, 2. The bathroom door sighed open, a 1/4 inch on its own. "Don't check," the voice said, a plea wrapped in my tone. "Not yet. If you look now, the apartment learns you." The second blink. The third. I stared at the black square of the bathroom, a deeper dark inside the dark. "What happens at 3:12? I asked. "Last time," my voice said, "we turned on the light." The static turned wet, like someone exhaling through water. "We saw teeth in the mirror that weren't ours, and then the mirror wanted us to be a mouth." "Wanted?" "You'll see." "No, you must not see," the panic spiked. "Promise me. Count to 5 after the blink. Don't turn on the light at 3:12. And if the phone rings again, answer. It will be me trying to fix what we break." The line dropped. The room folded into a quieter kind of dark. Outside, the streetlight blinked a 4th time. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a child, like a prayer. At 3:12, something in the bathroom breathed, and the mirror, without light, smiled. I didn't turn the switch. I held my breath and counted out loud. When nothing lunged, I inched the door shut and slid the bolt, a useless gesture that still felt like armor. Daylight made everything ordinary. Paint chips, a stain like a continent near the sink, the phone sitting with its slack, a fended cord. I pretended coffee could keep time obedient. At 3:06 the next night, the street outside fell strangely quiet, as if the city itself took a step back. The phone was already warm against my palm when it rang. "Okay," I said. I listened. "You listened enough to still be here," my voice said, "but it's not done." The mirror remembers who looks at it. It grows that person like a root. Once you belong to it, it calls you back. That's what you heard breathing. "How do you know all this?" I asked, furious at the tremble in my own throat. "Because yesterday, we didn't listen. We flipped the switch, and the mirror blinked first. It showed us standing behind ourselves, and then, I'm not sure how to say it cleanly. The room learned our outline. We had to bargain to get out." "Bargain with what?" "With tomorrow, I said. It wanted a promise. So we offered something small. We would answer the phone. We would obey the blinking. We would not look without counting. And in return, time would let us re-roll the hour, not the day, just the hour," a short, humorless laugh. "But the twist is cruel. We only get one rewind per night, and each time we use it, tomorrow takes something. A memory we didn't realize was stitched into us. A smell, a name, a true thing." I felt an emptiness, like a missed step. What did it take last time? Silence, the kind that isn't absence but pressure. Finally, "I can't remember my mother's birthday anymore. I know she had one. I can describe the cake, the taste like orange peels and sugar. But the date is fog. It was payment. We begged, and tomorrow kept the number. The bathroom door, still bolted, shivered. The lock clicked once, not opening, just reminding. Tonight it will try the window, my voice said, lower now. When the streetlight blinks, don't look at the glass. Stand with your back to it, count to 5, and speak your name so the room hears it from your mouth and not from your reflection. If I refuse, I said, then it writes your name first. The line crackled. From the window, a faint tapping, like fingers learning the drum of my life. The streetlight blinked. I said my name out loud. The tapping stopped. But the glass still knew I was thinking of it. I tried leaving. Packed a bag at noon, swore at the landlord's voicemail, Googled hotels. Every map pin was temporarily unavailable. Every rideshare, no drivers in your area, as if the city had collapsed into a polite shrug around my address. At 2:58 a.m., the apartment sounds arranged themselves into a sentence. The old fridge clicked in a way that rhymed with my heartbeat. The hallway's elevator cables hummed a note too close to my name. The neighbors upstairs dragged a chair, stopped right above my bathroom, and didn't move again. At 3:01, the phone rang without ringing, silence that somehow vibrated. I lifted the receiver to stop the pressure. I think it wants me to teach you, to teach me, I said. A loop? That's how it wins, Tomorrow Me answered, by turning us into our own instruction manual, by making us the proof that it's real. What if we stop picking up? It gets louder, and it learns our stubbornness. It will start speaking in voices we love. As if on cue, the bathroom vent whispered my mother's laugh, the exact pitch that could cut through a crowd at a market and find me. I bit the inside of my cheek until iron bloomed. We can change rules, I said too bravely. If it learns us, we learn it. What does it hate? Unfinished songs, she said immediately. Clocks without hands, names said backward, anything that isn't closed. It feeds on completed shapes. I stared at the mirror through the crack of the door. A thin smear curved across the glass like the beginning of a smile that hadn't decided whether to happen. Then we won't finish, I said. We'll break the rhythm. Careful, she said. Disobedience is also a shape. If you repeat it, it becomes a pattern it can wear. From the window, 3 knocks, not on wood, on the pane, soft and deliberate. I stepped backward, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then added 6, just to scar the count. The knocks stopped. The apartment exhaled. Tomorrow, I said into the receiver, if this is a loop, can I become you? Can I make the call first? You can try, she said, but you'll need a price. Time doesn't answer unless it's already been paid. What did we pay last time? Silence again. Then, the sound of our name when our mother said it. I can see her mouth make it. I can't hear it. Something tender in me tore very quietly. Okay, I said. Then tonight, we pay with something else. Behind the mirror, something smiled wider. I set the scene like a ritual. Phone in hand. Lights off. Window blind at half-mast so the streetlight's blink scribbled across the floor in a slow heartbeat. When 3:07 arrived, I dialed a number that doesn't exist. 0s and 7s, a palindrome that felt like a secret knock. The tone didn't sound right. It sounded like a breath held between 2 words. The call picked up, and I heard myself answer from last night. I delivered the rules like a condemned person, giving away their last cigarettes. Count after the blink. Don't gift the mirror your first look. Don't finish patterns. Keep a song in your mouth, unfinished. But there's one more, I told her, me. At 3:12, if it breathes, breathe with it. Match it, but be 1 breath short. Leave the pattern hungry. That sounds like feeding it, she said. It hates almost, I said. Trust me, trust you. And then the price. I felt time lean in like a cat at a door, waiting to be let inside. What do you offer? Tomorrow asked, not as me this time, not as a voice at all, but as the shape of an hour that wanted my edges. I offer the smell of rain on my street when I was 10, I said. The word for that smell in a language I wish I had learned. I offer that word even if I never had it. Accepted. Time purred. Behind the bathroom door a low wheeze rose. The mirror fogged from the wrong side. My chest obeyed the plan. I breathed with the breathing. 4 in, 4 out. But on the 5th, I stopped early, leaving a slice of air unswallowed. The fog on the glass stuttered, failing to complete its bloom. Tomorrow hissed. The phone grew cold. The mirror cleared, but instead of reflecting me, it reflected the room as it would look 5 minutes from now. In that reflection, my mouth was open, saying a word I didn't know yet. The window behind me was a little wider. The streetlight's blink had finished and become still. A shadow moved in the reflection that wasn't in the room. "Do not turn," my own voice said through the receiver, strangled. "That's the shape it wants. Reaction. Hold your pose. Wait for the streetlight to blink again, even if it takes all night." So I stood. The minute hand that wasn't there crawled. My neck burned. Tears itched. On the far edge of the mirror's world, the shadow pressed a hand to the glass, fingers long enough to be a sentence. At the 47th breath, the streetlight blinked. I counted to 5, then to 6. The reflection emptied, the shadow left like a thought you decide not to have. When I finally turned, the window was indeed a little wider. Someone had written a word in the dust of the sill. It was my name, backward. I scrubbed the sill clean with a sock until the letters blurred into nothingness, then burned the sock on the stove, because sometimes rituals are how you convince yourself you're still steering. At 3:03, the phone rang. I didn't lift it. I pressed my finger to the hook, held it down, and listened to the line gasp. "Lena, tomorrow, me, no, not me," said. "Answer, there's a new rule." "I'm tired of your rules," I said. "I want an ending that isn't a circle." "It won't let you have one, but it might let you choose the shape of the loop." A softer tone, my softness. "There's someone else now, another apartment down the hall. Another me. If we teach her faster, maybe the loop loosens." I stepped into the hallway. The building's night smelled like damp plaster and a secret. At 3:05, a door 2 units down opened a fraction. A woman my age peered out, phone in hand, fear brightening her eyes into mirrors. "Does your phone show tomorrow's date?" I asked. She nodded. It's ringing now." I looked at my receiver. It was silent. The ring drifted from her, thin as a thread. "Don't answer yet," I said. "Count after the blink." "What blink?" she asked. The streetlight obliged, as if I were the conductor, and it the obedient orchestra. The hall went dim, bright dim, a slow eyelid. "You'll hear me on the line," I told her. "I'll sound like you, I'll give you rules, break the count sometimes, leave songs half sung, don't let it finish you." Her mouth arranged itself around gratitude, and didn't finish that either. She eased the door shut. Back in my kitchen, I set the phone on the counter and stared at the cord. The wall jack, still empty. The rules tried to crowd around me like furniture dragged into a small room. I dialed the palindrome again, 0s and 7s, and listened. Someone picked up on the first not ring, breathless. "Hello," she said. Not my voice. Not the girl down the hall. Something older. A tired joy crept through the wires. "I've been waiting," it said. "You learned the counts. You learned to leave edges raw. You learned I hate a circle with a gap." "You're not tomorrow," I said. "I'm the room that wants to be a person," it said. "I wear you until I fit, but I've learned something too. I can't swallow what you refuse to finish." "So that's the ending," I said. "We don't end." "Correct," it whispered, almost tender. "We persist. You become the voice that teaches the next version. I become the apartment that almost becomes you." I thought of my mother's laugh I could still see but not hear. I thought of the rain smell I had fed to the hour. I thought of the girl down the hall, counting into a future that hated being whole. "Then here's my rule," I said, and for once it felt like mine. "We will always leave one breath, one note, one word. We will never give you a finished shape to wear." The line hummed, frustrated. In the mirror, my reflection lifted the receiver a heartbeat out of sync with me, late by a breath, wrong by a note, a word behind. The smile it tried on didn't fit. Outside, the streetlight blinked. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and stopped. The phone rang with the date of a day that will never arrive. I let it ring,